What if I told you that your life is not limited by money, education, talent, or luck? What if I told you the real reason most people never succeed is something invisible? Something happening inside their own minds. Stay with me, because by the end of this story, you will never think the same way again. This is not just a story. This is a wake-up call. And if you listen carefully, your English will improve. And your mindset will expand at the same time. Let me tell you a story. A simple story. A real story. This is the story of a man named Daniel. Daniel was not poor, but he was not rich. He was not weak, but he was not strong. He was not stupid, but he was not confident. Daniel was average. And that was the problem. Daniel lived a normal life. He woke up early. He went to work. He returned home tired. He watched videos. He slept. Every day looked the same. And slowly, without realizing it, his dreams became smaller. Daniel once had big dreams. He wanted a better life, confidence, success, respect. But over time, something changed. People said, "Be realistic. Don't dream too much. Life is hard. Only lucky people succeed." Daniel listened. The first lie Daniel believed was, "Big dreams are dangerous." He started protecting himself from disappointment. So he lowered his expectations. The second lie was even worse. "I am not made for big things." That sentence quietly destroyed his confidence. The invisible cage. Daniel didn't realize it, but his mind had built a cage. A cage made of fear, doubt, comparison, excuses. And the door was open. But he never tried to leave. Most people think small because they fear failure. They fear judgment. They fear change. Thinking small feels safe. But safe is not growth. One night, Daniel couldn't sleep. His mind was heavy. He asked himself a dangerous question. Is this really all my life will be? That question shook him. Daniel didn't know it yet, but questions shape destiny. Bad questions create fear. Good questions create expansion. The third lie exposed. Daniel realized another lie he believed. If I fail, I will be embarrassed forever. But when he looked around, he noticed something. Everyone was already busy with their own lives. Daniel understood. People don't think about me as much as I think they do. That realization was freeing. The first spark of thinking big. That night, Daniel allowed himself to imagine again. Not carefully. Not safely. But honestly. Thinking big does not mean arrogance. Thinking big does not mean greed. Thinking big means allowing possibility, removing limits, expanding belief. Daniel learned something important. Successful people are not braver. They are not smarter. They simply allow themselves to think bigger. Thinking big scared Daniel. Because if big success was possible, then small living was a choice. One voice said, "Dream bigger." Another voice said, "Stay safe." This battle happens in every human mind. Daniel made a small decision. Not to change everything. Not to quit his life. Just this: I will stop killing my dreams before trying. Why thinking big feels uncomfortable? Thinking big forces you to confront your habits, your discipline, your excuses. Comfort hates expansion. Daniel admitted something painful. I am not failing because life is hard. I am failing because I stopped believing. Daniel stopped saying, "I can't." He started saying, "What if I could?" That sentence changed everything. Thinking big does not start with action. It starts with permission. Permission to imagine. Permission to hope. Permission to believe again. Daniel realized something else. If he thought bigger, he would have to work harder. And that scared him. Big dreams demand discipline, patience, consistency. That's why most people avoid them. The turning point. Daniel asked himself, what hurts more? The pain of effort, or the pain of regret? He already knew the answer. For the first time in years, Daniel thought, I want more from life. And he didn't apologize for it. When Daniel woke up the next morning, something felt different. The room was the same. The sunlight was the same. His phone notifications were the same. But his thinking was not. For the first time in years, his mind felt open. Not confident yet. Not fearless. But open. And openness is the beginning of growth. Daniel made coffee and sat quietly. A thought appeared. What if yesterday was just emotion? This is where most people stop. They feel inspired. Then they doubt themselves. Daniel almost did the same. But instead of ignoring the thought, Daniel challenged it. He asked, what if this feeling is truth instead of fantasy? That question gave his courage room to breathe. Daniel understood something important. You don't believe because you succeed. You succeed because you believe first. Belief is not proof. Belief is a decision. Daniel had always believed confident people were born confident. But he realized something shocking. Confidence grows after action, not before. Most people wait to feel ready. That moment never comes. Daniel decided to take one small action. Not a big risk. Not a dramatic change. Just one step that matched a bigger version of himself. He wrote down his goals. Not safe goals. Not realistic goals. But honest goals. As Daniel wrote, fear appeared. Because written goals feel real. And real goals demand effort. That's why most people avoid them. He wrote things he had never said out loud. A better career. Financial freedom. Respect. Growth. Impact. When he finished, his hands were shaking. Not from fear. From truth. The voice of doubt returns. The doubt didn't disappear. It whispered, "You're dreaming again." Daniel smiled. Because for the first time, he didn't obey it. Thinking big does not remove fear. It makes fear irrelevant. Fear shrinks when purpose grows. The role of failure. Daniel had always avoided failure. But now he saw it differently. Failure wasn't proof of weakness. It was proof of attempt. Society teaches failure is bad. But reality says failure is feedback. Failure teaches. Failure shapes winners. Daniel stopped asking, "Can I do this?" He started asking, "What kind of person do I need to become?" That question changes everything. Big results come from big identity. Not talent. Not luck. Identity. Daniel took action. And he failed. Not dramatically. But noticeably. And the old Daniel would have stopped. This time, Daniel paused and thought. This failure didn't kill me. That realization was powerful. Most people quit after the first failure. Not because failure is painful, but because their identity is fragile. Daniel stopped seeing failure as a personal attack. He saw it as training. Training builds strength. Daniel noticed his biggest fear wasn't failure. It was looking foolish. But then he realized every expert was once a beginner. Thinking big requires courage. Not courage to win. Courage to try in public. Daniel faced embarrassment. People questioned him. Some laughed. And surprisingly, nothing terrible happened. Daniel realized judgment is temporary. Regret is permanent. Thinking small costs confidence, potential, time, self-respect, and the price increases every year. Daniel stopped waiting for motivation. He built discipline. Discipline works even when motivation disappears. Daniel changed small habits. Reading instead of scrolling. Planning instead of reacting. Learning instead of complaining. Small habits. Big impact. Thinking big can feel lonely. Because not everyone understands your vision. And that's okay. When you think bigger, you remind others of what they avoid. That discomfort becomes criticism. Daniel stopped seeking approval. He sought alignment. Alignment with his future self. Results didn't appear immediately. And that was the real test. Thinking big means trusting the process before rewards arrive. Some days, Daniel wanted to quit. To return to comfort. But comfort now felt like a cage. Every time Daniel felt tired, he remembered. I chose this path. Choice creates commitment. Small consistent actions. Repeated daily. Over time. Create extraordinary results. Growth happens invisibly before it becomes visible. Just like roots before a tree grows tall. Daniel's mindset matured. He stopped seeking quick success. He built long-term strength. Success is not winning. Success is becoming. Daniel did not wake up one day and say, "I am successful now." That moment never came. Instead, something quieter happened. One evening, while walking home, Daniel noticed something unusual. He was calm. Not excited. Not anxious. Not afraid. Just calm. And in that calmness, he realized he was no longer thinking small. Thinking big no longer felt uncomfortable. It no longer felt dangerous. It felt natural. Like breathing. And that is when Daniel understood a powerful truth. When your mindset grows, your old limits feel strange. The world starts responding differently. Daniel didn't change his clothes. He didn't change his accent. He didn't change his personality. But people reacted differently. They listened more carefully. They spoke with more respect. They trusted him. Not because of what he said, but because of how he carried himself. Big thinkers send a silent signal. They speak with clarity. They move with purpose. They pause before reacting. That signal changes how the world treats them. One day, someone said to Daniel, "You think differently." That sentence stayed with him. Because it meant the change was visible. Daniel achieved goals. But something more important happened. He started thinking beyond himself. He asked a new question. How can my growth help others grow? That question changes lives. Thinking small keeps your world small. Thinking big creates room for others. Big thinking creates ideas, opportunities, solutions, and solutions help people. Daniel realized something serious. Big thinking comes with responsibility. Because when people watch you grow, you become a reference point. A younger colleague asked Daniel for advice. Not because Daniel was perfect, but because he was consistent. That moment humbled him. Leadership is not control. Leadership is example. People follow what you do, not what you say. As Daniel grew, some relationships changed. Not everyone understood his mindset. Some felt uncomfortable. And that was painful. When you think bigger, you walk ahead. And not everyone is ready to walk with you. That doesn't make them bad. It means your paths are different. Daniel didn't fight. He didn't argue. He let go quietly. Growth sometimes requires silence. For the first time, Daniel felt aligned. His thoughts matched his actions. His actions matched his values. That alignment created peace. Daniel learned. If success costs your peace, it's too expensive. Thinking big includes balance. Big lives take time. Big results grow slowly. Impatience destroys potential. Patience protects it. Daniel understood something powerful. 5 years of small discipline beats 1 year of intense effort. Consistency builds greatness. Doubt didn't disappear forever. It returned sometimes. But now Daniel knew how to respond. He didn't panic. He observed it. Doubt became information, not authority. It no longer decided his future. The last battle was not with others. It was with comfort. Comfort whispered, "You've done enough." Growth replied, "There's more." Daniel chose growth again. Not aggressively. Not obsessively. But intentionally. Daniel's vision expanded. Not just for career. For life. Health. Relationships. Meaning. Thinking big touches every area. One night, Daniel asked himself, "If my life ended today, what would remain?" That question sharpened his focus. Legacy is not built at the end of life. It is built every day. How you speak. How you act. How you treat people. Daniel finally understood. Thinking big is not arrogance. Thinking big is responsibility. If you are listening to this right now, you are not here by accident. Something inside you wants more. More growth. More clarity. More meaning. That desire matters. Not because they can't. Because they don't believe they are allowed to. But you are. You don't need approval, validation, perfect timing. You need decision. You don't need a big beginning. You need a consistent one. Read one page. Speak one sentence. Take one step. Big lives are built from small actions. Daniel learned the ultimate truth. You don't rise to the level of your dreams. You rise to the level of your thinking. Promise yourself this. I will no longer think small to stay safe. Safety is temporary. Growth is permanent. If you listened until now, you already think differently. And once thinking changes, life follows. Think bigger than your fear. Think longer than your doubt. Think deeper than your past. Your future is waiting.